Me 34M with my wife 32F of 5 years. I know she's cheating on me, I can't bring myself to confront he. Story 1. I 34 meters met my wife 32F 7 years ago at a party. She was the out of your league girl no one hit on, and I was the awkward boy in the corner trying to not stare. Eventually she was introduced to me by the host, we bonded over a shared love of darts, went on a few dozen platonic outings together, and after one beer and darts-filled night a year later we wound up in her bed and in a relationship. A year later she proposed to me. She's the power person in our relationship. I am working as a chocolatier, she's a vice president in a larger corporation. She works long days and longer nights, I cook and keep the house clean, and work 5 days a week in a small artisanal shop downtown. We're pretty high-end, so I am making good money, but she's making way more than twice of my salary. So she buys the toys for the house, including a new set-top box for the TV. The set-top box has a screensaver mode where it rotates pictures in your Apple photo library. Last week, she was still at work, I came home from my day and the TV, which I used to watch a YouTube video that morning and definitely had turned off, was on screensaver. On it were pictures that must come from her phone, showing her, in our living room, one of our female friends, and a guy I've never met in very explicit poses. The pictures moved around the room, so I think there must have been a fourth person, taking pictures with her phone, but I didn't see that person. What was weird, was that she was wearing a bandage on her hand, something she'd done that morning after complaining about RSI. I left the TV on and was very shocked, but decided to leave the screensaver and see what she had to say when she came home later that evening. When she came home, the pictures seemed to have disappeared, they haven't shown up anymore since then on the TV. I asked her if she'd been home during the day, because the TV was on, and she said she'd come home during lunch to pick up a USB stick she'd forgotten in her computer at home. I tried to ask her about the pictures, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. Now, I have to add something. I am not a very experienced person in S-time matters. I am an introvert and barely had relationships before her. Our S-time life is though, even for my experiences, very vanilla. I never have had S-time in my life before and only twice since we met. Suggesting it to her usually meant that she'd lecture me about not doing those things, and S-time for the night was a no-go. In those pictures she did all the things she never wanted to do with me. Since that day I have tried to confront her a number of times. She stays out longer, lately not just since last week, for the past 4 months maybe, and she's often too tired for anything romantic, even just cuddling, and when she comes home she often disappears in her office and comes to bed long after I have fallen asleep. But even during the time we had together, like this weekend, I can't bring myself to confront her. I am worried about what I might hear and what this would mean for our relationship. I still love her very much and can't imagine a life without her. How can I summon the courage to do this? Is there a way out of this? TL, doctor, my wife is cheating on me and I saw pictures of it on our TV. I can't bring myself to confront her. Redditor's reactions. Redditor 1, get angry. Your wife has zero respect for you. She had S-time with other people in your home and took pictures of it. You should be pissed. Here's what you're going to do today, you are going to talk to a lawyer. You are not initiating divorce proceedings, But you are going to understand what is involved and how to protect yourself if a divorce is imminent. Then you're going to go do all of the things the lawyer told you to do, bank accounts, getting together important documents, etc. Then when your wife comes home, you are going to sit on the couch with the pictures queued up on the television. As she walks in, you are going to ask her calmly if she would care to explain. Listen to her explanation, and make sure that you have the biggest balls you can muster while doing so. Remember, just because your S-time life has been boring doesn't give her the right to S it on your face. Be mad. It's okay to be mad. Give yourself a few days to process after you hear what she has to say and then decide what to do. It's either going to be marriage counseling or divorce, and I would certainly recommend the latter. Redditor 2, also, though seriously, you make chocolate for a living and she's cheating on you. Redditor 3, I couldn't confront my girlfriend when I found out that she was cheating on me. The first time, I managed to convince myself that I had misinterpreted the evidence. The second time, I wrote out what I wanted to say in a letter, and when she got home from cheating on me, I sat her down and handed her the letter. The advantage to the letter is that you don't break down and start crying or screaming or any of the other things I wanted to do, and you can't get sidetracked. Story 2. I 31F kinda got ghosted by my husband 33 meters. I'm in a really horrible situation and I have no idea what to do right now. I'm very new to Reddit and just needed advice, so sorry in advance for the format, and the length. This is very long. I'm probably gonna get flamed for this, but while you're at it, at least give me advice on how to proceed. My husband and I have been together for 8 years and married for 6. We have a son together 4 meters and have been in a very happy and fulfilling relationship, until about 6 months ago. I started an affair with my ex from college that lasted about 4 months. I genuinely had no intentions of cheating and thought of it as just catching up with an old friend when he reached out to me. I don't even know why I did it or why I let it go on for so long. So yeah, it lasted for 4 months and we were regularly having S-time both at mine and my husband's home, my app's home, and hotels whenever his place was unavailable. And yes, he is married with 3 kids. During this time I became increasingly distant from my husband, and he began to notice. He is a very smart man and knows whenever something isn't right. Well, one night he asked me flat out if I was cheating on him. I denied it, of course, but he didn't back down. He told me while looking into my eyes that he knew something was up, but that he was going to let this go because he had no proof. However, he said if he found out down the road that I had lied to him, we would be done, no questions asked. I took that threat very seriously and immediately ended it with the AP. He reluctantly agreed to end it and I devoted myself to being the best wife and mother I possibly could. I felt very guilty of how I had neglected my husband and started initiating AITA course more, doing things in bed I normally wouldn't do, helping more around the house, and with our kid. My husband was very cold to me in the beginning, but things went back to normal after a while. One day my AP contacted me again via Facebook. I told him in no uncertain terms that we were done, but he said he wanted us to meet one last time. I foolishly agreed to this and we decided to meet up at a hotel 2 hours from where I live. I wanted to experience this one last time before calling it quits for good. As you can guess already, this didn't go according to plan. After AP and I were done with the deed, I received a short text from my husband that read, "I know where you who you are with, and what you are doing. We are done. Don't bother coming back home. I've transferred half of our savings into your checking account. Have a good life. I can't describe the wave of emotions I felt at that moment. I tried calling him and texting him, but he had me blocked on everything. He eventually unblocked my phone number but said it was only to deal with our son. Everything else was going to be through his lawyer. I've never been more depressed in my life than I was when this happened. I decided to go home the next day, but he wasn't there. Neither was our son. Whenever I texted him, he would only respond if I asked about my son. He sent me a text saying we would each have our son for a week and nothing else. I couldn't talk to his side of the family cause they all had me blocked and my family was very disappointed in me. My best friend is the only person I could talk to. I had literally no contact with my husband for a whole week, and when I did it was to inform me that his brother would be bringing our son over to me for my week of custody. This was the most painful period of my life. How could he be so cruel and indifferent? Aren't we supposed to talk about things like this? I know I probably deserve it, but he never even gave me the chance to apologize or explain. The guilt I have and the way he is treating me are literally driving me insane. I feel like he never even loved me if he can be this emotionless. I'm not even asking him to take me back, just to talk, yell at me, anything. Doesn't he want some form of closure at least? This brings me to today. I got served divorce papers and I literally can't believe he'd go this far without even having as much as a talk. Yes, I shouldn't have cheated, but I can't help but feel like his reaction is very childish. I haven't even read the papers or hired a lawyer. Things just can't end this way. I sent him a text telling him that I would contest this divorce even if it leaves us in financial ruin. So my question to all you strangers is, what should I do? I'm really lost right now, and I can't even function. I can't believe my whole life is about to end and I'm not even being given the chance to fix it. Should I contact the police since I don't know where he is and he changed the locks to our house? Any advice will be appreciated. TLDR, I cheated on my husband, and now he won't talk to me and want a divorce. What do I do to win him back? Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, you think your husband's reaction of your ongoing affair is childish. You should have posted on Am I the Ashole, because yes, you are the Ashole. Your husband is justified, so put your big girl panties on and deal with the consequences of your actions. Redditor 2, I read through your post and it strikes me how very much of it is all about you. There's really no respect in there for your husband as his own person. It's almost like you are incapable of feeling anything for him. Everything that you feel is about you. There is nothing that you can do to win him back. He is not coming back. That life is over now and all you have is to move on. I think that it would be good for you to talk to a counselor or therapist about how you can start working on being more compassionate and empathetic with other people. Your life is slowly revolving around you, and it is like you are not capable of thinking about other people at all. Redditor 3, you cheated on your husband for months and when he asked you to come clean you still need it. Sign the papers and accept that you alone sabotaged your relationship.